There has been no small amount of controversy lately over NVIDIA's China-exclusive AI chip, the H20. This isn't just about tech specs, though. It's about security, trust, and the bigger picture of global tech rivalries. That and the potential risk of backdoors. What's a backdoor? Well, let's talk about it. 大家好，我是 Surant 在中国. Hey everyone, it's Surant in China. How y'all doing today? I hope you're having a lovely day. As usual, I'm having a great day over here in South China, though truth be told, it is mighty hot. But hey, at least it isn't raining. And I really want to say thanks to all my viewers for the tremendous support you've been showing me. Some of you are throwing me a coffee with one of the links below. Several of you now have joined the membership program for the cost of a cup of coffee each month. 谢谢你们. And, you know, if that's not your cup of tea or cup of coffee, as it were, you could always help out just by remembering to hit that subscribe button below and throwing the video a thumbs up if you like what I'm saying. It really does help the YouTube algorithm to find my videos and share them with more people. But now let's get to today's topic. For those that don't already know, NVIDIA is a giant in the GPU market. GPU stands for Graphical Processing Unit, and they power everything from gaming systems to advanced AI training and inference. But due to US export restrictions aimed at limiting advanced tech to China, NVIDIA created specialized versions of their chips for the Chinese market. The H20 is one such chip. Although similar to the flagship H100 used globally, the H20 isn't identical. It's been dialed down and underpowered to comply with those strict US regulations. To give you a sense of the differences, the H100 boasts around 80 billion transistors and delivers top-tier performance with up to 700 watts of power consumption. It has more CUDA cores, about 17,000, compared to the H20's roughly 10,000, and higher memory bandwidth. This means the H20 has about 41% fewer cores and is up to 28% slower in certain tasks, especially high-end AI training models. Overall, it's a step down from the global standard, tailored specifically to skirt export bans while keeping NVIDIA's foot in the massive Chinese market, where orders for H20 chips have reportedly hit 18 billion US dollars. Now, the real drama kicked off last month when Chinese authorities summoned NVIDIA representatives. They demanded explanations about alleged backdoors in the H20 chips. Backdoors are hidden mechanisms that could allow remote access or control. And this isn't a baseless accusation. It stems from growing distrust in foreign tech amid escalating US-China tech tensions. In response, on August 6, 2025, NVIDIA's Chief Security Officer, David Reber Jr., released a strong statement. He categorically denied any backdoors, kill switches, or spyware in their GPUs. Reber emphasized that NVIDIA's products are designed for performance and reliability, not espionage, and that embedding such features would shatter trust in the company worldwide. But as we'll see, statements like this haven't fully convinced everyone, especially given the history of vulnerabilities in the industry, and others we will talk about in my next video. But for now, what exactly is a backdoor in a chip? Let's break it down simply. A backdoor is like a secret door in a fortress. It's a way to access a system without going through the front gate, often for malicious purposes. China's Ministry of State Security recently outlined 3 main categories of deliberate backdoors, plus some unintentional ones. The first type is a malicious built-in backdoor. This happens during the design or manufacturing phase, where a company intentionally plants code or hardware that allows for remote control. For instance, there have been cases with smartphone chips that could secretly activate cameras or upload data without the user's knowledge. The second type is post-production compromises. Chips often include debugging ports or maintenance interfaces for repairs. If these aren't managed well, hackers or even the vendor could exploit them. Back in 2024, attackers used server maintenance ports to steal millions of Ticketmaster customers' personal information. The third type is called supply chain insertion. This malicious code gets slipped into open source repositories, software updates, or even third-party hardware components during manufacturing. Earlier this year, a Chinese smart TV brand had millions of devices put at risk because altered physical components were leaking data. This, of course, leads us to the last category, which is the unintentional backdoors. Things like technical flaws in the hardware or software design. These aren't planted on purpose, but can be exploited once discovered. Famous examples include the Spectre and Meltdown vulnerabilities from 2018, which affected nearly all modern CPUs. They stemmed from performance-enhancing features like speculative execution, where the CPU guesses what to do next to speed things up. But this guessing often led to leaks of sensitive data. These flaws, of course, aren't unique to one company. They've plagued the biggest names in the industry. In 2017, Intel admitted that their Intel Management Engine, or IME, had critical vulnerabilities affecting CPUs from the past decade. The IME is a mini computer inside the CPU, running independently with full system access. It can control hardware remotely, even bypassing the operating system. Critics, including the Free Software Foundation, called it an unclosable hardware backdoor. Reports suggest that Intel knew about issues as early as 2012, but downplayed them to the public. AMD isn't immune either, however. Their Platform Security Processor, or PSP, mirrors Intel's IME with high privileges that operate outside user control. It can run code without your knowledge, raising similar concerns. Now, with ARM-based chips, which power most mobile devices and even some Macs, researchers at MIT uncovered flaws in the Pointer Authentication Code, or PAC, that could bypass security. On top of that, they can't be fixed with software patches. You need a full hardware upgrade, like upgrading from an ARM version 8 system to an ARM version 9 system. That means that billions of devices, from phones, tablets, and some PCs, likely remain vulnerable. And NVIDIA? Well, their GPUs have had issues too. In 2016, kernel driver flaws allowed unauthorized access and privilege escalation. More recently, the GPU hammer vulnerability could crash AI model accuracy from 80% to near zero by exploiting memory errors. Now, these examples show a pattern. Western chip giants have a track record of vulnerabilities, some ignored for years or even decades. And in a world where tech companies have cooperated with intelligence agencies, think PRISM revelations from Edward Snowden, unpatched flaws could double as state-level exploit tools. The bottom line, bought chips are never truly secure. At the hardware level, things like instruction sets, CPU or GPU cores, and intellectual property can hide backdoors. Software, drivers, firmware, and even open source elements might carry risks. Security is not absolute, it's about control. With self developed chips, you own the source code, so you can spot and fix issues quickly. But with foreign IP, in this case, China buying NVIDIA chips, you are at the mercy of the provider. Fixes might even require entirely new generations of hardware and software. In May 2025, a US congressman pushed for NVIDIA to embed tracking in exported chips under the guise of anti-smuggling. Reports suggest that Google data centers already use similar technology. This isn't just about preventing resale. It's seen as a way to maintain tech dominance and enable covert surveillance. For the H20 specifically, the risks are amplified because it's China exclusive. Global chips like the H100 are scrutinized by researchers worldwide, so any major flaw would damage NVIDIA's reputation everywhere. But the H20? It's only for China, meaning that vulnerabilities affect a targeted market with less global fallout. China's market is enormous, and NVIDIA wants in. But at what cost to security? Recent reports show Chinese state media escalating criticism, labeling the H20 as unsafe, not advanced enough, and not even environmentally friendly. They are urging firms to boycott NVIDIA altogether and turn to domestic alternatives. Meanwhile, NVIDIA is already working on a new China-specific chip that might outperform the H20, but the trust gap still remains. Overall, the message is clear. While no chip is perfect, since even homegrown tech can have bugs, the key is sovereignty. Relying on foreign, exclusive versions like the H20 exposes you to much higher risks of backdoors, whether intentional or not. China, with its push for self-reliance in semiconductors, needs to prioritize developing its own AI hardware ecosystem. This isn't just about avoiding a certain chip or manufacturer, it's about securing the future of tech independence and security in general. Thanks as always for watching, and keep your eyes open for my next video, where I'll be exposing potential backdoors and kill switches in military hardware, which has many nations on edge. But until then, thank you all for joining me as usual, and I will see you in the next video. 再见。